Many times a recipe will call for chopped nuts. How you read the recipe is going to determine when you do the chopping, and also how do you chop nuts? I mean, how do you do it in the quickest, most efficient way? Well, I'm Annette Reeder, the biblical nutritionist, and I love to teach people how to follow the Bible diet. In other words, how to eat healthy the way God designed and live an amazing life. If you want to learn more about these videos on how to cook and how to live amazing, just hit the subscribe button right now so you won't miss a single video. Today I want to teach you how to chop nuts. There's several different ways you can do it. I'm just going to share with you two. Also, what to look for in nuts, how to store them, and how to read the recipe. That's what we're covering today, so thanks for joining me. So what you want to do is you want to buy whole nuts, or actually I say whole, but they might say halves. This one actually says halves and pieces, but the pieces are still very big. So I've got some walnuts here. This would be a walnut half. We got some pecans. This would be a half of a pecan. So when a recipe calls for 1 cup pecans, then we would pour 1 cup of pecans into our measuring cup. And since this is a dry food, we would use a dry measuring cup. So there's 1 cup of pecans. So if the recipe says 1 cup pecans, comma, chopped, then I would take this and chop it. If it says 1 cup of pecans, 1 cup of chopped pecans, then it's chopped first and then measured. It's very important for how your recipe is going to turn out as to how you read the recipe. So make sure you read it well. Where's the comma? It changes everything. So today, like I said, let's learn how to chop some nuts. There's going to be 2 ways I want to share with you. The first is by using a chef's knife. You can just get your nuts all lined up here and then just pivot your knife and then just chop all the way across the nuts. This way you're going to get a more uniform size. You're going to have more consistency as far as, when people are biting into that brownie or cookie or that cake, then you're going to have more uniform size. So then I'm just going to kind of go sideways here. And I'm just going to chop this up. You'll notice it doesn't really take that much time, but there are times when you're reading a recipe and it's like, oh, I wish I already had chopped nuts, and you didn't have them ready ahead of time, and you have to do it right then and there. And so this is one way to do it, and you just keep just use the flat part of your blade to pull that back together so you don't dull your blade. Pull that back together and then just slice again until they are all uniform in size. So like I said, I don't want you buying chopped or minced nuts. I want you to chop them yourself, and this is one way, because you're reserving the nutritional benefit of the nuts by waiting until you're ready to use them to chop them up. Now, if I chop up too much that I don't need right now for my current recipe, then I will just freeze the rest. And another tip, you do want to keep your nuts in the freezer to maintain their freshness. They have an oil in there that is amazing for your body. So many health benefits. There you go. We've got some beautifully chopped nuts. There you go. Ready for a recipe that I'm prepping for. Now I could also use a food processor. This is a food processor that comes with typically with an immersion blender. I've got some walnuts in there, which I actually already have plenty of walnuts for my recipes that I'm getting ready to do videos on. So I'm going to put these walnuts back. And let's just go ahead and put my blade in first. Put some pecans in there. All right, and then my immersion blender, which is also called that isn't going to work that way. How about we do it this way first? And you'll know it's right because it will fit. When it doesn't fit, you know you don't have it on right. And then we just want to pulse it. So just hitting the button quickly. Don't hold the button down or you're going to end up with minced nuts, or they'll turn into a paste like peanut butter. You just want to pulse it. Now some of your chefs don't like to do it this way because sometimes it's harder to get a consistent shape and size. Although, to be quite honest, I think it's amazing to do it this way. So let me just pour this out for you, and you can see It did a beautiful job, and yes, it was quicker and faster than the way I was doing it. So let me just arrange this for you so you can see our walnuts and our pecans. So once again, for a review, make sure you're reading the recipe right. Where's the comma? Make sure you're measuring and chopping at the right time. Have good utensils on hand, either a chef's knife or a food processor. These mini ones that come with the immersion blender are great. Buy your nuts as whole as possible. Don't buy them already chopped because you want to maintain the nutritional value as long as possible. If you chop up more than what you can use, then just go ahead and freeze the rest. And so here you can see we have a beautiful display of nuts ready to go, and boy, I can smell the aroma, so this smells delicious. I can't wait to get baking with these right now. If you want to know more about how to be confident in the kitchen, how to follow the Bible diet, how to be healthy, how to be vibrant and have lots of energy, then be sure you subscribe to this channel, The Biblical Nutritionist, and that way you get notified as soon as we post new videos. And there's a lot of videos coming, and so it's my job, it's my mission to make sure you have the health you need to be as healthy as possible. I'm Annette Reeder, the Biblical Nutritionist. Thank you for watching this. Why not share it with your friends, your girlfriends, your women's ministry team? Learn how to eat healthy in the kitchen with God's foods because they're amazing.